I gotta be honest with you guys, I am sleepy. We are now day 6 in Western Mongolia. This is part 3 of the Western Mongolia series. We're now 6 days without a shower, 6 days without a proper toilet, 6 days sleeping on floors and wherever else we can find to sleep. And I'm tired. But with adventure, and lots of times, as you've seen so far, misadventure comes for some fun stories and usually some good photos. So hopefully that continues. We got 2 days left here in Western Mongolia, and yeah, let's do it. You guys got to see this pavement. For 3 of the next 4 hours, we saw our first pavement in Western Mongolia, and it was glorious. You know, aside from the rain. So why does Carlos look so grumpy? Oh, that's right, no more pavement. Well, it was fun while it lasted. So we made it to our camp for the night, and it is in this beautiful, beautiful location. We're in these gurs again. We got 2 gurs for the group, so 6 people in one, 7 in the other. And the setting here is phenomenally beautiful. It doesn't make sense on camera, I don't think. And it's kind of been the challenge of Mongolia, is there's so much subtle beauty here from a photography perspective. When you're here with the eyes, you see the definition, you see the rolling hills, you see the scale of it. But on the camera, it's so hard to translate. And finding that like subtle beauty in the photos for me is just something that I really struggle with. So it's a good learning experience being here in Mongolia. We are like an hour until sunset. There's definitely not gonna be a sunset, but I think we're gonna get unpacked and then probably take the cameras out and just see what the lens finds. Okay, I've got a photography assistant out with me tonight. Basically what I'm trying to do is just try to simplify things. We got hit by rain right after I finished talking last time, and now it's all the way after sunset. But there's a lot of subtle kind of detail here, as I was mentioning, so I'm trying to do different things, but I'm not being very successful. One of them is trying to isolate something against a gur, and then having the gur and then the mountains in the background. Like I said, not being super successful just because things are moving around and you know it's getting dark pretty quick, but I think it's a good idea. So I think there's probably a simple photo there already from this evening, and I think in the morning, hopefully, if the weather's better, there'll be another one. After ditching my wide-angle lens, yes, that one, and after not talking about the giant zit on my head, yes, that one, I searched for a long lens shot, but just ran out of time before dark. So I found a space on the floor of the gur, curled up away for some Z's before stumbling out into the morning air, camera in hand. And apparently, unable to navigate a door and a tripod. I'm up early this morning. The yaks are being herded. There's about 4 billion goats over there. And this peak off in the distance has some fresh snow from the rain yesterday and some clouds on it that look like they're catching some light. So I'm doing something I haven't done the whole trip in Mongolia so far, which is get out my wide-angle lens. Just as I'd hoped, the light is popping. We're getting all sorts of like pre-glow hitting these clouds right on top of this peak. This sky is phenomenal. So I'm playing with grads as I do instead of blending because future Brendan is lazy. So looking out for future Brendan, who really doesn't like editing photos, I put down a 4-stop reverse grad ND to hold in the sky. But then the ground was too bright, so I also used a 2-stop medium grad to darken the foreground a bit. This was the result. And while it's okay, the wide-angle lens kills the drama and flattens the hills. So I moved on to hornier endeavors. Get it? Get it? Okay, I'm photographing the goats. Okay, better. We're getting there. The photo still needs work, but the jokes are on point. Okay, they're not. Let's get back to the photos. Okay, Greg's B-rolling the third shot of the morning, which is a bit...
Wait, I'm not allowed to talk, I forgot.
Stop talking, Greg. Some people. Anyways, the third shot of the morning, and I'm going with some simplicity. This gur is the exact shape of this mountain, and so I've just plopped the gur right into the middle of the mountain, and I'm kind of using it as a layer for the mountain itself and the clouds and the light. The light's starting to disappear as the sun's coming up, but it's still working. 3 shots in about 15 minutes. They're similar, they're all using this mountain, but they're all different and they're all good. I actually think this one might be my favorite just because it has that simplicity that I've kind of been looking to try to do a little bit more. And yeah, what a morning. What a perfect morning. After all the misadventures, after all the bad weather, after, you know, kind of the struggles we've been going through on this trip, this has just kind of been the icing on the cake. Every now and then I have to go and chase the goats out of my frame because they're right at the edge of the frame. Come on, goats. Just move a little bit. We can be friends later. I'll give you head scratches. Just a little bit and you're good. Crowd control. That's good. Perfect, guys. Thank you. Head scratches coming your way later. After goat crowd control, I got back to my camera and blasted off a very simple f11 1-second image of the gur. Finally an image I can work with. And it turns out I just needed to simplify. Who would have thought? Composition tip?
Remove, subtract rather than add.
With an epic sunrise in the books, we packed back into the UAV 452s and headed for the hills. Move, goat, get out the way. Get out the way, goat, get out the way. Move, goat, get out the way. Get out the way, goat, move out the way. Move, goat, get out the way. Okay, I swear I'm done this time. So we're heading to a place called Hut today in Mongolia, and on the way there we decided to drive the vans up a mountain. We've literally, and you can see the others from the other part of our group, are climbing this mountain up here to this incredible view. Way down there you can see the gur camp we stayed at last night. There's just hills rolling forever, and into this light over here, a snow-capped peak. And apparently there's a waterfall that comes down from there. So we're gonna keep climbing this mountain with the vans and see what's up there. Apparently it's a waterfall though. So we made our way up the mountain in search of this waterfall and the view our guide had been raving about. And after a quick stop to photograph Greg using nature's toilet, we raced on and made it to our spot. Epic. Although Carlos still doesn't look that impressed, it's absolutely epic. Okay, so our guide just took us to this epic photo location. We got this wandering stream right at the big peaks. It's midday though, it's like 10 in the morning. So I used a 10-stop ND, a 4-stop medium grad, and a polarizer as well. So 3 different filters to get this photo. And I think it came out really cool. Now I'm with my boy Jay here, who you should go and check out on Instagram. Really cool stuff. And we're going this way because our guide told us that there's a waterfall up this gorge. So we're gonna go check that out and see if there's another photo there. And so far I think I've got like 7 photos from this morning, which is crazy. 7 photos before 10 a.m. after having like 3 days in a row where we were just struggling to do anything. So it's been an awesome morning. Okay, so no joke, woo, I'm gonna fall on my face. No joke, I'm gonna try to stand here so you can see the waterfall. No joke, I'm standing here taking pictures and I asked the guide if he could go up and model maybe, and out of nowhere, this horseman came running down the valley, well the horse came running down the valley, and went up there and basically posed for the photos. And no, I didn't pay to have those photos taken, he just did that out of the goodness of his heart. And I think the photo's really cool. Probably an average location when it comes to that sort of photo, but just having a Mongolian on a horse in that scene was just unreal. So I think it's now time to go. I think we have something else in store this afternoon. And yeah, just phenomenal morning. So let's get cruising.
After relearning to walk, I marked this place on Google Maps under the category of do not tell people this location until you get to reshoot it in better light, and moved on. We crossed some rivers, but eventually found pavement again. Wasn't actually our only treat that afternoon. We arrived in this brilliant location along a river near Hot, where a famous Mongolian throat singer put on a little bit of a show for us. It was spectacular. The music, the setting, the atmosphere, just the perfect way to end this wild week out west.
Okay, what a special end to this day. We're down at the river. We just had he's like the godfather of throat singing here in Mongolia. It's such a cool, powerful thing to see and hear. You think you can do it. You think you've heard it when you've heard it on tape or recording or CDs, but you've never really experienced it unless you're right there. When you're there, it's just it's powerful. It's really powerful. I had the camera out. I did take a couple pictures, but more than anything, I just kind of tried to sit back and enjoy it because this experience, sitting here by the river, enjoying this, it's just so good. As I mentioned, and as you saw in the past couple of videos, there were some struggles so far on this Mongolia trip. We had misadventures, we had some bad weather, but yeah, this has all just been made worth it from the past 24 hours. It has been awesome. But now we're jumping on a plane, heading back to Ulaanbaatar, so I'm gonna call this an episode. I'll see you next time. Peace.